In this video, we'll explore how documents work in Blackboard Ultra, how to create, customize, and organize them for your course. In Ultra, documents let you present information, embed media, and organize material into a single scrollable page. They're flexible spaces that combine text, images, and multimedia to guide students through learning. To create a new document, select Create from the plus menu, then choose Document. Be sure to give your document a clear title. The menu bar provides access to adding content, adjusting document settings, and controlling visibility. Using the plus sign, we can add an array of content. Under the gear, we can find the settings for the document, including allowing conversations or giving a description. And you can also make this item visible to students or set release conditions. Documents in Blackboard Ultra are made up of content blocks, and we can add content blocks in two ways. We've got our plus sign icon, and you'll notice these options are the same as the options that came up as soon as we created our document. There's lots to choose from. Let's focus on content for right now. When you create a content box in your document in Blackboard Ultra, a toolbar appears. And we're going to go through all the parts of this, but first, let's just go ahead and look at this first icon on the toolbar. It says text style. I want to use a title here since it's the title of my document. And I'm also going to come over to the alignment right here in the middle and go ahead and center that. Documents in Ultra can be made up of multiple content blocks, and they're resizable. Let's show you how to make those. I'm going to use my plus sign icon, add some content. This time I'm not going to use my header, my title as my header. I'm going to go ahead and use header here for section 1. Underneath it, I'm going to add some text. And let's use the toolbar to see what else we can do with this. Right next to this text style, we can change the font with that large T. Right next to that, I can adjust the font size with the AA. And beside that, you see a paint bucket where I can change the color. Further down the toolbar, we have our bold, italic, and underline. Under the text options, we also have strike through, superscript, subscript, and an ability to put in a code snippet. At the sides of this content box, you'll see two purple little pill rectangles. I'm going to grab a hold of one of those, and I can use this to adjust the size, column-wise, of my content box. I'm going to add another content box in this empty space right beside it. Right, well, let's go ahead and add in, not a content block, I'm going to go ahead and add an image for my choices here. And find one, there's one right there. I could resize it if I wish, change the aspect ratio. I can't add a caption. Decide where I want to put that caption, make it options available. Do I want my students to download it, view it, or just download it? And go ahead and add in some alt text as well. This pops up, and using those purple little rectangles, I can choose to move this up here, and now I have two content boxes side by side. I'm going to go ahead and add another content box so we can continue to look at that toolbar. The next item after the text icons is a table. You can add a table, deciding how many rows and columns you'd like. Another menu pops up for your tables. You can insert to the left or right and delete columns. You can insert rows above or below and delete those. You can delete the entire table. You can also add header rows or column rows. I do recommend giving your table some context. You are not able to add a table summary to this, which makes it kind of inaccessible unless you give students who are looking at this with a screen reader a little summary to give them a heads up on what content is on this table. I'm going to create another content box so we can continue with that toolbar. The next icon after tables is alignment options, which you can choose your justification or alignment. After that is a paragraph symbol. This allows us to, and a little menu pops out down below, make things into a bulleted list, a numbered list. You can change the number or the line height settings, and you can make it from left to right or right to left. Next to this is an undo button or a clear format. And finally, we get to our last blocks, which we'll deal with next. First, I'm going to attach a link here. And to do this, I'm going to go ahead and write some text and highlight it. I could type it in if I wish. Go ahead and add my link, and that is linked in. I can also attach a document if I have one. And this gives you the choice to view or download, view only, or download. And you can also change the title name. It appears as a document in Blackboard Ultra, and students will now be able to view and download this. We can also add an image. And you can change the settings on your image if you wish with size. Decide if students will view, download, or download only. You can add alt text or mark the image as decorative. Once you've placed your image using this manner, if you click in the white field, you are able to resize this image. However, it will be centered. I don't think there's a way to change this. Nope, we cannot. So it's going to be centered in your content box. I'm going to open up a new content box to show you the last icon on our toolbar, and it is Insert Content. You can insert a math formula if you wish. You can insert an image from a URL, much like we did our picture up here, or you can embed media, and this is going to be useful for VoiceThread. So I'm going to go ahead and get a VoiceThread. And this is just going to be a shareable link for a lecture. I'm going to go ahead and put in my media and give it some alt text. And now this will show up in line in my document for my students. You can do the same thing for a YouTube video. You can embed that media right there, or if it's a public video, you can use this function as well and locate that on the YouTube service. Finally, there's some other options from your content market or the content collection, or you can pull from cloud storage. The short of this is these documents are very changeable, very customizable, and allows you to add lots of content for your students as they're going through modules in your courses. Once created, documents appear in your course feed. Don't forget to click the Save button after you're done working so you don't lose all your hard work. Just make sure and make them visible to students. Once they're created, you can move the document by grabbing a hold of it using your cursor. You also see the 6 dots over here, and you can put that in modules or elsewhere in your feed if you wish. Sometimes you have to fight with them, though. There we go. So now this document is part of my Sonoran Desert module. Documents in Blackboard Ultra give you the flexibility to create engaging, accessible content and keep your courses organized. If you have questions about creating documents in Blackboard Ultra, please reach out to Online and Adult Learning.